Right, hello everyone. Thanks very much for waiting. Sorry I was a little bit late. I've just ran the last mile because my taxi was stuck in traffic, hence the dishevelled appearance, but hopefully it won't affect my performance speaking for you today. I'm just going to catch my breath though. Right, so I'm going to talk about, as you can see from the screen, consumer reviews, how important they are, and how online retailers need to change in order to make the most of this. So everybody knows there's been a boom in online reviews over the last 10 years or so, and the statistics bear this out. All the statistics you see these days, they say that at least 80% of people are reading consumer reviews always, or nearly always, before deciding what they want to buy. Now when I first started working at Ciao, which was in 2005, these statistics were more around the 50-60% mark. So as you can see from these more recent statistics, reviews is pretty much saturated. Everybody reads them. I'm sure that everybody here reads them as well. Just so I can check, is everyone here from an online retail background? More or less? Right, good. I just need to check that I've got the right presentation. So it's actually no surprise at all that reviews are so popular these days, because if you look back to the guy who was credited with inventing the World Wide Web, Tim Berners-Lee, he said that's what the internet was for in the first place. That's why he created it, because he wanted to create a medium where people could interact with each other, share opinions, and meet and read and write. And so it's really no surprise that this has happened. And also the advent of Facebook, if you look at what Tim Berners-Lee said at the outset of the internet, the only surprise about Facebook is that it actually took so long to happen, because that was what the web was designed for. So the way the internet has changed, because one of the terms that I encountered while researching this presentation was the socialization of the web. But what does this actually mean? If you socialize something, it means you're turning it into a society. Now as e-commerce retailers, until 2005, you could afford to think about the internet purely as an economy, somewhere where you can just make more money from unsuspecting customers. All you have to do is get them to your site, and as long as you're the first person to present with them with an offer, chances are they'll buy it. Now the internet is a society. It's much more about friends, intercommunication, relationships, economy, and economy is one part of that, but it's only one part of a whole society which the internet has become. So before, when the internet was an economy, companies were faceless entities that just provide people with a service or a product in exchange for money. And consumers also were faceless nobodies with no say in whether a company succeeds. The only power they had was to decide whether to buy something or not buy something. And success in e-commerce was just about getting traffic. And the understanding was that if you got traffic, that would naturally convert into revenue. These days, that's not enough. You need to provide people with a social experience. People are going to find out what other people are saying about a product. So unless they can do that on your site or somewhere on the internet, the chances are they're not going to buy from you. Consumers have got much more power. There's been a huge shift in power in favour of the consumer. And I think I've covered that last point already. So now that we've established how important reviews are to nearly every consumer in online, what's the best strategy for a company who wants to make the most of it? Well, the first thing you can do is enable users to post reviews directly onto your site. It's a little bit tricky. I'm sure some of you have done it, but if you can do it, it provides a way for people who bought from you to go back to your site and relate about their experience to other people. Also encourages people to return. If you don't have the functionality or the time to implement that kind of feature, then you can always syndicate review content from a third party, like Bazaar Voice, Review, Power Reviews. These are companies which dedicate a huge amount of effort to collecting all this information for you so that you can post it on your site. Now the third alternative is Ciao. Now obviously I work for Ciao, but I hope most of you have heard of Ciao. But what I'm sure most of you don't know is that if you're an online retailer, the chances are you've got your own Ciao product page already set up. I'll check on Ciao after this and search for your company and see if it's there. It very well might be, but if it isn't, you can always contact us and we'll set up a page for you. Now, what does it mean when you've got a Ciao page set up? Well, here's a standard Ciao page. It isn't about a company. I'll show you one of those later, but this is just about a product. So somebody comes to the Nokia N97 page and they've got a list of all the reviews of that product that they can read. Someone could open an individual review. At the bottom they've got the option to rate it according to how helpful it is. Sorry, it's a bit smaller than I was expecting this screen, so I hope you can see that. But people rate reviews, comment on reviews and leave feedback. Now, how's this relevant to someone who runs their own retail business? Well, we've got exactly the same functionality for every online shop. So, for example, over 10% of the reviews that we currently list, over 10% of the reviews that the Ciao community write these days are not about products specifically, they're actually about shops and services. So let's look at one example of an individual review written about a shop. This is about Glasses Direct. There's a company I'd never heard of, but I noticed they had 33 largely positive reviews on the Ciao platform. And you can see the level of detail someone's prepared to go into talking about the experiences they've had with this shop. And just as astonishing as that level of detail is the amount of feedback that each one of these reviews gets. Now, I know this particular review has been read since it was published about 5 days ago over 200 times, because we measure this. And let me just see. I don't know, there have been about 40 or 50 comments on it already. Some of them from people saying, never heard of this site, we'll give it a try. Now, if you're an online retailer and you want the benefits of online reviews, but on an independent platform where you know people are going to trust you, then you can do a lot worse than actually advising all your customers to post a review about your service on Ciao. That way, you can put a link on your own site to a third-party platform that people know isn't monitored by you, where they can read what all your customers have had to say about you. And the most important, and the reason this is so important is because still, even with the advent of Facebook and people socialising so much online, other consumers are still the most trusted source of information for people who are looking to make an online purchase. These are the statistics from New Media Age in March, and it says that, you can see there that 33% of people say that other consumers are very important, whereas like professional reviews only 19%. So in the new year we're actually going to start to launch a new scheme on Ciao where people have got an average of 4 stars or more from over 5 reviews written by the Ciao community can have a Ciao seal of approval posted on their site. And this links directly to their Ciao page with directions to people, read what Ciao users say about us. So when you've got reviews that people can post on your own site, you've always got the slight disadvantage that everyone knows everything that's posted on your site is to some extent monitored and selected by you. No one's going to publish an overwhelmingly negative review on their own site. And for this reason, even if you have got loads of overwhelmingly positive stuff on your site, it's not going to be 100% credible. People are going to go and find out from a platform like Ciao what people are saying on the outside. So, just a quote from the NMA. I love quoting the NMA. It's the only publication I read, actually. I do read others. But this is another one from the NMA. Real social commerce is about rating, reviews, recommendations and referrals. So the fact is that as much as you can do on Facebook by creating a Facebook page, Twitter by keeping everybody who doesn't really want to know in touch with everything that's going on with your company, the real business, the real thing that is going to help decide what people do is still ratings and reviews. And in Ciao, we were formed in 1999, since which time we've done everything we can to collect as much as possible of this data and publish it on the site without any kind of control. So in conclusion, this has probably been somewhat quicker than I expected. So in conclusion, I'd say that the first rule in e-commerce is that you have to be the best. Because if you're not, people are going to talk about you and find you out. So the first rule obviously is concentrate on your core business, offering a brilliant service, selling the right things, delivering them on time if that's what you do. And then, once you've done that, you have to encourage people to actually spread the word. So that anybody who's considering using your company or considering looking elsewhere is immediately reinforced with their decision to use you. So thanks very much for that, everyone. Anytime, I've got lots of time for questions if anyone wants to ask one. Yep. Our platform is actually solely European at the moment, so no, we don't have anything in those markets. Yep. On Ciao, there's actually no way to bury bad reviews because we are an uncontrolled, unmonitored platform. If somebody's made a review maliciously, and say, for example, you're a merchant or a shop owner and you suspect that somebody is doing this just to deliberately sabotage your business, then we'll investigate, we'll see how many reviews that person's written before, and if they're a new member who appears only to have joined for the purpose of slagging off your company, then we'll remove it.
Do you ever remove reviews that you think people have written about themselves?
Yes, we do. If people are writing reviews about their own business, first of all, somebody has to flag it up to us, somebody in the Ciao community. But what will happen as soon as a review is read, as soon as a review is published, like several Ciao members will read it, and we've got a hardcore group of Ciao members who are very precious about the platform, who will let us know if they think somebody's abusing it. Oh, sorry.
Are there any plans for Ciao Facebook integration?
At the moment, we've got an integration where anybody who publishes a review on Ciao can instantly decide to publish it on their own page. Ciao operates actually in a similar way to Facebook in that once you write a review, anybody who is in your circle of friends gets notification by email. So yeah, at the moment, if you write a review on Ciao, you can instantly decide to share it with all your Facebook friends. And there's also, obviously, a Ciao Facebook page. After.
Hi, Alexander.
Hi.
The professional review industry seems to be rapidly growing. How's that going to undermine reviews going forward?
Sorry, can you speak a bit louder?
Yeah, I was just saying the professional review industry seems to be fast growing.
Yeah.
People are being paid to do reviews. How's that going to impact reviews going forward and consumers' perceptions of reviews?
What, the fact that people are getting paid to write reviews? Well, obviously there are sites with professional content which are taking market share and growing all the time because, you know, they often produce things which are much richer, like video. But the fact is they'll never rival the number of reviews that you'll find on a site like Ciao or the number of reviews that Rebu has, because anybody can do it. And so if you want to find out what one qualified person thinks about a product, then there are lots of professional resources out there. But lots of people like to find out what several people, sometimes hundreds of people, just like themselves, think about something as a more accurate predictor of what to buy. But that's a good point. So the lady at the front.
You commented at the beginning of your presentation, this is a sort of retail consumer presentation. How does this relate to the business-to-business market?
So the business-to-business market, you know, the fact is you can review anything on Ciao whatsoever. So if you're providing a service to a business, then that person who's bought from you can still go on Ciao and review. Largely, we are a consumer website, but if, say, for example, you're a business-to-business company, you can contact us, we'll set up a page, and if you want to use Ciao as a means of convincing new people to use your business, then you can direct them towards that page.
Hi. Which are the top 7 markets that you're in? Which are the 7 markets that you're in, and which are the top 3 lucrative ones?
Top 3 lucrative? The 7 markets we're in are UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, Netherlands, and Sweden. The most lucrative ones are Germany, the UK, and then I'd say it's a toss-up between France and Spain after that. Is that it? Okay, well, thanks very much, everyone. Hope you enjoy the rest of the show, the trade show.